Previously, Akamitsu Akagami was a complete loner. He never tried to make any friends because whenever people learned he was from the Akagami family, they assumed he was a womanizer like his infamous father. To avoid girls, he decided to join a temple, only to find many beautiful girls living there. Akamitsu tried to leave but discovered his father owed them 20 million yen in debt. To repay the debt, he decided to work at the temple. Later, he discovered that the temple's financial condition was very bad, and one of the girls, Yuzuki, was trying to save it by becoming a priest. However, she is too young for that, so she is buying time by getting engaged to a high-ranking monk from another temple. Now, let's continue. After taking a bath, Yuzuki weighed herself and was startled to see she had gained a significant amount of weight. Distressed, she called an urgent meeting with all the girls. Cleverly, she blamed the curse of the scale for her weight gain, a notion she believed began only after Akamitsu's arrival. Initially, the other girls suspected Yuzuki was using the curse as an excuse for her weight. However, upon discovering they too had gained weight, they all quickly blamed the unfortunate scale, just as Yuzuki had done. Determined to break the curse, they brainstormed solutions. Mia suggested adopting a diet of meat and vegetables, but they lacked the funds to buy these items. Tsukuyo then proposed they exercise, and the group agreed to start a regimen the next morning. True to their plan, the girls engaged in various exercises to shed their excess weight, and then proceeded with their daily chores. By evening, they realized their physical labor was enough exercise in itself. Yuzuki then recommended they diet instead, which required instructing Akamitsu to prepare smaller portions of food. However, Tsukuyo felt too shy to discuss their dieting plan with him. Yuzuki then shifted the conversation, noting that their weight gain could be a natural part of aging. Just as the discussion took this turn, Akamitsu arrived with a tray of sparkling, delicious sweets. The sight and smell of the treats made them forget about dieting altogether, as they indulged in the sweets with delight. Later, while cooking, Yuzuki asked Akamitsu to add pickled radishes to the meal. Akamitsu noticed her leaving with a huge axe, which made him suspicious that she might be planning to kill him. His suspicion grew when he saw her chopping wood with the axe in a room. Filled with fear, Akamitsu prepared all of Yuzuki's favorite dishes for dinner to cheer her up. However, when she didn't react after eating, Akamitsu fainted in terror. Later, while walking through the gallery, Akamitsu found Yuzuki lying on the floor. She asked him to help her stand up as her legs had gone numb. Terrified, Akamitsu hesitated, still believing she might want to harm him. Just then, Kiki explained that Yuzuki was undergoing a special training called Tizu, which, upon completion, would allow her to enter the head temple for head priest training. Cutting wood with an axe and eating silently were part of this rigorous training. However, Yuzuki was struggling with the training and needed to improve her efforts. Understanding the situation, Akamitsu expressed his desire to become Yuzuki's training partner to support her. Pleased with his enthusiasm, Kiki, despite owing a debt to the girls, allowed him to train alongside Yuzuki. Mia, who overheard the conversation, also expressed her interest in training with Akamitsu. The two were filled with joy at the prospect of training together. Later, when Akamitsu told Tsukuyo about the training, she informed him that he needed to undergo takudo. Unfamiliar with the term, he asked Kiki about it. She explained that takudo involved studying sutras and rituals to earn the right to become a priest. This revelation made Akamitsu realize that he was not yet a priest, causing his mind to become preoccupied with thoughts of the girls around him. Then Yuzuki returned after 6 hours of Tizu training and asked Kiki to proceed with the next training session. However, when Yuzuki stumbled during Kiki's inspection, she sent him back to chop wood. Kiki then revealed that Yuzuki had also not completed takudo. Nonetheless, Yuzuki was working diligently to save the Mikazuki temple, aiming to complete a year's worth of training in just 6 months. At that moment, Kijo arrived to meet Yuzuki. He demanded that she be ready for takudo within 3 months, threatening to break off their engagement if she failed. When Kiki inquired about the urgency, Kijo explained that a secret meeting of the higher-ups would be held in 3 months, during which the future of the temple would be decided. So Kiki started their training the very next day. She instructed them to wear white undergarments, but since none of them had any, she provided them with special clothes. They began with zazen practice, where Akamitsu meditated quite well. However, when the girls started receiving punishments, Akamitsu fainted due to the distraction. Next, Kiki had them practice calligraphy. Yuzuki struggled with it, while Akamitsu performed like a master. For sleeping arrangements, they were given a single tatami mat in the same room. Akamitsu lay down comfortably without any complaints, unlike the girls who find it hard to sleep. Despite their lack of sleep, Kiki sent them to the sauna for training, where they had to stay together and overcome worldly desires. The confined space caused them to keep touching each other, which only heightened their temptations. In an attempt to distract themselves, they talked about the previous night but inevitably returned to discussing worldly desires, making Yuzuki's training difficult. Yuzuki realized that Kiki was training them in Makyo, a practice where worldly desires dominate the mind, with the goal of learning to control these desires. Understanding this, Mia asked Yuzuki to reveal her dirty thoughts. Yuzuki lied, claiming she had none, leading the others to believe she had successfully completed the training. When they reported their progress to Kiki, she remarked that those who claim not to have dirty thoughts are the biggest perverts, thereby exposing Yuzuki's lie. After some thought, Kiki told them to forget about fame and fortune and to relax for the day. Yuzuki understood this as a reminder to let go of profit and loss, which is the third rule for attaining enlightenment. However, Akamitsu was unhappy that tomorrow was Christmas, recalling how his father would spend the day playing with girls. Noticing his distress, Yuzuki decided to take him out to the market. They visited a Buddhist goods shop to buy Christmas gifts. Yuzuki was drawn to some prayer beads but found them too expensive. The shop employee, Mari, who was Yuzuki's friend, showed them prayer beads popular with couples, assuming they were a pair. When Yuzuki began to deny it, Mari questioned why she was dressed up and out with Akamitsu on Christmas Day. Embarrassed, Yuzuki's face turned red, and she quickly changed the topic by purchasing a t-shirt instead. On Christmas Day, the girls gathered to discuss how their lives had changed since Akamitsu arrived. Courage noticed that Tsukuyo had become extremely flirtatious. Mia reveals that she has turned melons into watermelons to seduce Akamitsu. Kagura praised Akamitsu's transformation in front of everyone, but privately she made it clear that she disliked him and wanted to throw him out of the temple. By evening, the girls were ready for the Christmas party. Akamitsu prepared special dishes, which they devoured like hungry wolves. When it came time to exchange gifts, Akamitsu realized he had nothing to give, so he offered coupons for any obedience. All the gifts were packed randomly, ensuring everyone received a surprise. Yuzuki ended up with Courage's marriage certificate, which Courage had intended for Akamitsu. Tsukuyo received Yuzuki's gift, an erection machine. The other three got their own gifts back. Kagura then exchanged a DVD for Akamitsu's coupon, which featured photos of Mia. Finally, Kagura gave everyone tickets to the hot spring inn, making everyone very happy, though an evil smile lingered on Kagura's face. Then Kagura brought everyone to the hot spring inn. As they were going inside, Akamitsu was drawn to a sign advertising a personal hot spring for him. A man holding the sign deceived him into drinking a virility drink and sent him through a door into a room. There, Akamitsu saw a hot spring with Yuzuki and the other girls standing nearby. Panicking, he tried to hide in the bushes. While Akamitsu was contemplating his escape, Kagura spotted him but said nothing to the other girls. Instead, she asked them what they would do if Akamitsu were caught watching them. Expecting them to say they would immediately throw him out of the temple, Kagura was surprised when the girls replied that while they would be angry, they wouldn't expel him because they trusted he would have a reason. Overhearing this, Akamitsu stepped forward. The girls, angry, punished him but still expressed their belief in him. As everyone started to head back to the temple, Kagura and Mia stayed behind. When Akamitsu also began to leave, Kagura stopped him, mentioning that the effect of the drink hadn't worn off yet. Akamitsu waited for the effect to subside. Kagura then came to his room and attempted to help him forcibly remove the effect, but Akamitsu resisted and managed to do it himself. After her plan failed, Kagura revealed that everything that had happened at the inn was orchestrated by her. She explained that Mia is the heir of the Kristoff family, and she wanted to groom her into becoming an erotic queen, with Akamitsu being an obstacle to her plans. So she wants to remove him from the temple. Kagura makes him unconscious and ties him up. When Akamitsu regained consciousness, he asked why she was doing all this. Kagura explained that she belonged to the Baldwin family, obedient servants of the Kristoff family. She offered to pay off all his debt in exchange for him leaving the temple. Courage leaves after giving him time to answer. Next day, while Akamitsu and Yuzuki were praying, they thought of giving each other a gift. Coincidentally, they both gifted each other the same set of couple beads. This reminded them that such beads are traditionally exchanged during marriage between a husband and wife, causing their faces to turn red with embarrassment. At that moment, Kiki burst through the door with a worried expression. She announced that Yuzuki's Takuto ceremony would be held in the hall of their temple, and that many important members of the temple would be attending. Before their arrival, an inspection of the temple would be conducted. If anything was found amiss, the officials would refuse to come. Realizing this, they remembered that the statue of the principal figure of the temple was broken, and they lacked the funds for its repair. What will happen next? Will they be able to save the temple, or they all become homeless? We will find out in next part.